friends, the city of Zaporizhzhia, and I'm driving a Zaporozhets. Why and where do you think I am going? It's not by chance. A very interesting experiment awaits us. We're going to give this car a second life, because we're taking it for scrap. Of course, I would never give away a working car, especially our favorite Zaporozhets. It's being towed because it's already served its time. I wanted to step on the gas. Damn, I forgot it doesn't work. And here we are, friends. Final stop. We thank this car for the fact that it has served its owners for a long time. And next it will be turned into new steel. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Accelerating. To this pile of scrap metal. I am Dmytro Komarov, and I have always been looking for places of power all over the world. The Buddha chose this place not for nothing to appear in the future. From Everest to Fujiyama. Hooray! But the real place of power is here. This is Ukraine. I'm very surprised, can't get away from it. I've never seen anything like this before, yet. The whole world calls us strong, indestructible, resilient, heroic and brave. Thanks to people like them, well, I got to tell you, that's what keeps our morale up. But what is behind those beautiful words? We are riding in a small group. Said there are drones hovering over the site and 3 GPUs coming. What makes us Ukrainians strong? Let's find out together. That's a brilliant answer. I've never heard that before in my search of power. Time to drive on to explore the incredible Ukraine. The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov, Ukraine. The tallest building in London is the Shard skyscraper, St. George's Bridge in Genoa, the Art Center in New York, the new safe confinement over the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, Kyiv's Donetsky and pedestrian bicycle bridges, Azov's wave bridge, and our Olympic Stadium. What unites all these outstanding constructions? Ukrainian steel. Ukrainians have always been a nation of metallurgists. Since the times of the Zaporizhian siege, Cossacks were not just warriors, but also real masters of metal. They forged not only horseshoes, but also the main thing, weapons, arrowheads, Cossack sabers and cannons. And today, in the same Zaporizhzhia, the traditions of metallurgists are preserved. The city is only 30 kilometers away from the war zone. Zaporizhzhia is shelled every day. Our first filming day was no exception. The city was hit with ballistics. But despite the constant threat, Zaporizhzhia people continue to live, work and produce metal not only for great construction projects, but also for each of us to have a fork and a spoon on the table. To find out where these brave people got such strength, let's get to know them better. Friends, 5:30 in the morning, Zaporizhzhia, and we are at the bus stop, from where workers are taken to ZAPORIZHSTAL. This is for plant employees only. Good morning. Good morning. And that, friends, is the first time in the history of World Inside Out I will try myself in the profession of metallurgist at a Ukrainian enterprise. Metallurgical enterprise. Who is prompting? Good morning. Good. What's your name? Oleksandr. For how long you've been working at the plant? For 27 years.
For 20 years. 34.
15 years.
About 37.
37 years. Wow. So far, you've worked the longest of anyone on this bus. What do you do?
Site supervisor.
Service engineer. Service engineer.
Engineer.
Gasman.
Cook. Warehouse storekeeper.
Diesel locomotive driver's assistant. Wow, how old are you? 20. 20? Yes. For how long have you been here? For a year. It is rare to hear about someone wanting to go to work in a factory. You are an example of a new generation who are choosing such important strategic professions. And I can see from your smile that you probably like it, yeah? Well, it's okay. Okay. I see everyone in the morning coming in like this, already in a surprisingly good mood. Where do you get the strength to work and smile every day, especially now, when there are impacts in this city every day? What motivates you? Life is motivating. It's motivating to have a job that you enjoy. We have a good staff. Plant feels like home already.
How can you not love it?
You remind me of someone. Who? Komarov. That's me? Seriously? Yes. No way. I honestly couldn't believe it. I watched your programs about Tibet and stuff. Do you like our journeys? Today we are on a journey to get to know your work, to see the underside of your work. Today is my first day at the plant. I'll probably work with you for a week to get a feel for everything. What should a person coming to the plant for the first time today pay attention to? To safety. To being cautious, looking around. There are many places where you could... Yeah, there are. Get hit in the head or in the leg. Yes. Or dive into red-hot lava. We approach the factory, the gatehouse. Here's everyone coming out. It seems like a lot of people now. But since the full-scale invasion began, there are 1,200 fewer workers here. This is how many employees of the plant went to war. Therefore, many work without a day off at all, in several shifts. Here we enter the plant. Here you need to tap a pass. And it's very important to check this sign that I was told on the bus. 7 injuries this year and have been working without injury for 8 days. I hope the +1 doesn't show up here tonight. That's gonna be very interesting. As the day shift gets to work, the night shift is on their way to rest. I see you're off the night shift. What do? I'm a loader. Where? Unloading rail cars. I'm on my first day of work today, starting in your profession, by the way. What advice do you have for a new employee? Endurance and more strength, because it's not easy. Until you try, you will not understand. Have a great day. I'm going to change and start work. Looking for my locker? Metallurgical plant ZAPORIZHSTAL, Komarov Dmytro Konstantinovich. Here my profession will change every day. So I get several sets of special protective clothing. Wow! There's a lot of interesting stuff here. 15 minutes to change and I'm ready to go to production. Friends, for scale, ZAPORIZHSTAL Med Invest plant is a city within a city. Imagine, 550 hectares. It is approximately like 770 soccer fields or the area of a small town, for example, Kolomia. No wonder that ZAPORIZHSTAL is visible even from space. If you look at the satellite map of Zaporizhzhia, the plant occupies a whole district of the city. And to truly appreciate the scale of the giant ZAPORIZHSTAL Med Invest plant, it is best to drive along the railroad tracks. It has its own railroad, which provides for the internal needs of the enterprise. Hundreds of rail cars, dozens of locomotives carry coke. Coal. This metallurgical kitchen is just a part of Ukrainian metallurgy, which, despite the war, remains a strong pillar of our economy. For example, 7% of GDP last year. You look around and it just takes your breath away. The length of all railroad tracks on the territory of the plant is 280 kilometers. It is like the distance from Kyiv to Cherkasy or from Lviv to Uzhgorod. The scale is just grandiose. Very impressive. The territory is so big that while we were driving to my first workplace, I honestly even froze. Good afternoon, Mr. Driver. I'm going to warm up a little here. It's chilly. Good. What's your name? Ole. I'm impressed with what I've seen. How long have you been working on the route? 7 years. What has impressed you the most in these 7 years on the job? I have dreamed of being a hustler since childhood. Without people like me, no cargo would be brought in, nothing would work. The country needs steel right now, at this moment, I think. Why are you standing on open one and the first one is free? First is free. This is Andriy, who has been working at the company for 27 years, and he too shares with us his experience of working during the war. Yes, it can be loud during an air raid and burning industries, burning areas we still have going on. Why do you think it's important to make steel now? This is a support for our economy. The economy will be afloat. It will be possible to finance, most importantly, the armed forces of Ukraine. We need this. Well, as we spoke, the train is already reaching its first stop. This must be coal. Olesk, what do you have here? We are about to get the coal. The locomotive is being coupled to the cars. Collect? Done. So jump in, let's go on? Yes. Well, friends, we've arrived at the coal trestle. This is where we will unload the rail cars we brought in. Hello? Hello. I'm Dmytro. Sergey. Is this a bunker trestle? Yes. Underneath this grid are bunkers, volumes for unloading raw materials. Each bunker gets its own ingredient. For example, coal, which we have brought in and will now unload. Now I will introduce you to the bunker brigadier. You will follow all his instructions. Good, because our job is dangerous. I hope the foreman is not too strict. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
This is Anastasia, the bunker for woman. You don't expect to see a young, beautiful girl here as a brigadier.
It's a conscious choice.
Now all the viewers are watching and there is a question in millions. A young girl and such an unfeminine job.
Both men and women can lead.
Yeah, that's right. It's more about the physically tiring work here, difficult working conditions.
Every profession has its nuances.
How does your boyfriend or husband feel about this kind of work?
There are none.
Man of Zaporizhzhia, do not thank me. Now you know where to look for single Anastasia.
Just a moment, sorry. Dima, get in touch with the Ronin.
How do you keep a manicure like that on a job like this?
Manicures don't get in the way.
Friends, a girl at Zaporizhstal with such a manicure. This is really impressive.
In order to understand what is going on here, you need to work here.
I mean, with both hands.
Let's get movers.
Will you command us?
Sure.
Good afternoon.
Provide the tool. Show. Tell.
Carefully taking off locker.
Wait.
Taking off locker.
Tell him to check on slanted shutters.
There should be pins on the rollers to keep the shutter from falling out on you. Yeah, so if you make a mistake, then what? It can fly out and break a leg. That's why you can't stand opposite. Always to the side. Just a little bit off to the side, right? Yeah, then kick it off like that. How many tons are there now?
About 62.
Careful, watch your step. Here, friends, you have to step carefully. If something is wrong, your foot can fall in. This one to kick, right? Yes, the locker. Then the hook. Holding on. First locker. Locker. Hook. No, the other way. I look like a newbie so far, but I'm forgiven for that. Everything is working out well. Bingo! 62 tons like fluff. Okay, and that's the last one on this side. And you know, I liked it.
But it's only half a carload so far.
Not all coal is unloaded from the rail car in this way. About half remains inside and is unloaded manually. How many rail cars per day to unload?
Well, roughly we unload about 10 rail cars, approximately 700 tons.
That's for how many people?
We have a crew of 5 or 6 people.
5 or 6 people, 700 tons, over 100 tons per person.
So it is. Take shovel and dig.
Anastasia, like a true brigadier, always brings back from talk to work. Before we climb in, we need to clean the hatch. And that's how. Looking under your feet, we need to clear the hatch. See again, the important thing is not to fall in there with your foot. Yes, so you don't get injured. Okay, we can get in. And we're inside the coal car. How can we get comfortable here? This is where we put our foot down. Do not unload yourself like this coal. We hold the shovel and push. That's how we unload. That's how it is, friends. Every day, another city called Zaporizhstal works in the city of Zaporizhzhia. Thousands of people manually perform hard but extremely important work. And here comes another brigade. Good afternoon. You have been working here for a very long time. What is important to know and what is not written on the internet about Zaporizhstal? First of all, back in the late 19th century, the pioneers, the founders of our industry of the city, were such people as immigrants from Germany, Mennonites. Seriously? Yes, seriously. Mennonites, friends, you may remember, in the 14th year we were filming in Mexico and we found a Mennonite settlement. People who literally live in the past. It's a religious community that migrated from Austria. Mennonites are a religious movement of people who have given up electricity, internet and smartphones. Their world: horses instead of cars, candles instead of light bulbs, and a life away from modern civilization. And they were here? There are many architectural objects left from them all over the city. The first school for girls in Zaporizhzhia and, I think, for deaf mutes. The thermal power plant was also built by the Mennonites. They pushed industrialization. If I had come for a talk at a university, I would not have expected to find such interesting facts. And here we are, unloading a wagon. Let me shake your hand. Thank you. You too. You are not just an employee of Zaporizhstal, you are a real historian and encyclopedia. And back to work again. Friends, in very simple words, we are now dumping coal into a bunker. It is pulverized and it is fed into a large blast furnace. Insane speed, literally 3 or 4 minutes, and the whole rail car is unloaded. Work for real man. What motivates you and where do you get the strength to work so hard every day? I am motivated by the fact that I am helping the country in such a difficult moment. Metal is a weapon of war. We really need this. Our families sit in basements, yes. We hide. I have a child. It's scary, dangerous, yes, but where can we go? What are we going to do? Go to another town? What's the use? It won't end the war anyway. Work takes your mind off all this. You should always be cheerful and you will always have strength and mood. Well, I like to eat salo. I am energized by salo. I buy it at the local market. I advise everyone to support the people's product. That's a brilliant answer. That's one I've never heard before in my search for power. What do you find strength in? In the salo I get at the market. That's funny. I like salo a lot too. By the way, You have such a charming brigadier, such a beautiful girl, Nastya. Nastya told that she has no husband or boyfriend, therefore, man, are there any single here? She can travel, she can scold. She can also help. Of course, we help the fragile girl who's in charge of us to make her life easier. Our forewoman Nastya, I think, is the best. We can never say no to her. Who could say no to Nastya? I see that you're not just co-workers here, but a friendly team, a great team. Nastya, I'm sorry we detained your fighters. They spoke very highly of you, with a lot of love, warmth and positivity. Really.
That's strange, but okay. We still need to end it. Clear it all out.
Nastya says it's poorly finalized. We need to clean up all the leftovers.
I'll get the locomotive.
This is an interesting work. I enjoyed it. I'm surprised at how positive people are here, despite the seemingly dirty work. Holding a shovel, unloading a car. But they are humorous, they are intellectual, I'd even say. But unloading rail cars is only the beginning. A lot more work is needed to make strong steel for Kyiv Olympic Stadium from the stone mine in Kryvyi Rih. And it all starts here. Here, on the ore yard, like a huge supermarket, bring absolutely everything you need to weld cast iron. Why cast iron? Because you can't make steel without it. Cast iron is a familiar word, isn't it? Almost every housewife has a similar cast iron pan or pot at home. Many families probably have cast iron pot left over from their grandmothers and great-grandmothers. It is simply impossible to damage them. This is simply eternal cookware. Friends, imagine, in 1 year, Zaporizhstal produces such a quantity of cast iron that it could be used to make 2,500,000,000 of these cast iron pots. That's, for example, 1 cast iron pot for every inhabitant of China and India, or 1 cast iron pot for every third person on planet Earth. Impressive, isn't it? To make it as clear as possible to the viewer how steel comes to be and first cast iron, let us gather in this pot all that is needed to make it. Here we see falling out. What's this? Here we have coke. Here, friends, coke is very light, with a very high combustion temperature. What is the combustion temperature of coke? 800–900 degrees. Goes into the oven, gives the temperature, and thanks to it melts all our other ingredients. So coke is the coal that will be used to cook cast iron, which will then be used to make steel. So throw it into the pot. Coke is there. After coke we have sinter. What is sinter? The base, which contains iron 58%. Oh, so it's the kind of pebble that has 58% iron in it. Yes. Here you go. Wow, it's so textured, like it's volcanic. Very heavy. Really feels like it's not a stone in your hands, but a piece of metal. This is the second ingredient, sinter. Let's get on with the assembling. We have pellets next. What are pellets? A material that has 65% iron in it. Can you show me what it looks like? Ah, there I see. Those kind of balls in the bunker. Pretty heavy too. Is that nature-made or humans? Human-made. How are they made? The ore falls into the drums, rolls over, and you get a ball like this, to the pot. The next ingredient that goes into the furnace is lump ore. What kind of ore? Lump. Here it is. It is a mined natural rock. Iron ore is delivered by trains here from Kryvyi Rih. Here, friends, you can see very well how this process takes place. The wagons arrive, the flaps open, and everything is poured into the bunker. Let's have a look. Stop machine, they open it, and everything comes out. Whoa! Here we go. What's that? Metal waste. So in simple words, metal trash, right? Debris, yes. Let's see what's here. Pebbles, pieces of cast iron, metal or debris. We'll put it in too. Borscht is cooking. Well, friends, here I have a small pot in my hands, and in it is absolutely everything you need to get cast iron. And behind me is a big pot. It's a blast furnace. And the hoist takes the same ingredients up there, and they are smelted into cast iron. To explain it simply, trains come here, bringing coke, pellets, sinter, scrap metal, and iron ore. The wagons are unloaded into underground bunkers. From there, the materials are fed into the furnace in the right proportions using a special hoist. Coal is pulverized into dust, mixed with oxygen and other gases, and blown into the furnace to keep the ingredients at a high melting point and produce cast iron. It's interesting that the temperature in the oven is kept constant. Such an oven is fired up once and then for decades just add ingredients to it to keep it warm. Friends, this giant is a blast furnace. Imagine, its height is 68 meters. It's like a 28-story house. It works without weekends, holidays or vacations, because it is impossible to stop metallurgical production. Nevertheless, blast furnaces still had to be stopped twice in history. The first time was during World War II, when the Nazis attacked. The second time was in 22nd year, when the neighbors attacked. It's about time I went down there to the blast furnaces and had a personal conversation with the man who stopped these giants during the full-scale invasion in the 22nd year. And as always, in the best tradition of World Inside Out, I'll ask to work. The process of smelting cast iron is continuous. It has cycles that repeat every 2 hours, and so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, for decades. Liquid cast iron comes out through a hole in the bottom of the furnace. This takes place inside the blast furnace shop where we are now. Oh, the cast iron is so bright. It's very bright here, very interesting, but also very hot. Your shoes is about to melt. You see, we can't go through yet. We haven't changed our shoes yet. And the temperature is very high here. How hot? Cast iron is 1450 degrees. The lid is about 300. Now he'll put another lid on so we can walk more safely. They're used to it here. I'll measure the temperature. I'm holding a pyrometer, a device that measures temperature at a distance. 182 degrees is the lid they're putting on now. Go fast like this. Oh, I can literally feel the heat going up my legs. Look, there's 600 if you hit the right spot. Before starting work, you need to change clothes. So this uniform isn't appropriate here. It isn't, so just for walking. Usual uniform here is like this, see? Yep, the protective one. Am I going to have one of those? Yeah, we'll give you one of those. Let's go, the wardroom. That's yours right there. Here's the coat. What is it made of? Broadcloth. All metallurgists work in broadcloth. Because it is a natural material that can withstand temperatures up to plus 200 degrees. It does not burn or melt. I checked everything personally before starting my shift. You see, the clothes don't burn, my finger inside doesn't feel the heat, so it really protects. And when you work directly with metal, you wear another coat on top. The boots are fireproof too. These can withstand fire. Okay, well friends, I change. See you already at the workplace. Here, cosmonaut Komarov is ready for a spacewalk. By the way, now I will work as a furnace man. That is the name of the profession of those who work in the hottest place. Here it is, the heart of the plant, the blast furnace. How many of them are there? Only 4 and 3 now working. The volume of each furnace is 1513 cubic meters. Capacity, almost 3000 tons per day. What is it to be compared to? If measured in cars, 1500 cars can be made. Explain in simple words the processes that take place here. A furnace is a cylinder, you could say, a big barrel. At the bottom, air heated to 1130 degrees is blown in. From above, materials are loaded. These two streams meet. The coke ignites, everything melts, then it all goes down and accumulates in the crucible. The main task is to pour the melting products which come out of the furnace either into a cast iron truck or into a slag truck. So everything we've collected in the pot, it all melts in the blast furnace, and then the liquid is separated into cast iron and slag. Yes. We come closer to the furnace itself. Here, friends, we see the opening of a huge blast furnace. Out of it comes a mixture of everything. All those pebbles that we collected from the train today melted in the furnace. And now this hot river of 1500 degrees flows down this stream and into this structure. This is where the cast iron and the slag are separated. What causes them to separate? Because cast iron is heavier. It settles down, and slag is lighter. It floats up like cream on milk. The slag rises to the top and flows into the first chute, while the cast iron rises to the bottom and goes into the bottom chute. Here, friends, here comes the slag. Like the river. It's impressive, it's beautiful. It's more than 1500 degrees there, and I really feel it. You could say I'm sitting at the crater of a volcano. There's lava bubbling a meter away from me. If it weren't for this heat suit, I wouldn't be able to be this close. It's beautiful. Here's a guy spilling slag. You can check it out. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Slag is usually a waste product of metallurgical production. Slag is waste rock, what is left after the iron has been extracted from the ore. The ore has 60% iron, the rest is rock. And it goes somewhere else after War II, to the needs of society. Yes, slag is used for the production of many building materials. For example, the well-known cinder blocks. To understand what we have boiled, we need to determine the chemical composition. To do that, we need to take a sample. Koda, Dima, I will explain a little bit. What are the dangerous points when taking a sample? Firstly, not to fall into the pit. Secondly, the spoon must be absolutely dry, not a drop of moisture, otherwise there will be an explosion. It's a mold, isn't it? Yes. We're shutting it down. There are residuals, then it leaks out. Oh, it's hot in here. What's the temperature? 1450. 1450 degrees, folks. Feels like the sun, and that's the spoon for hot cast iron. It's blinding like welding, and I take cast iron that's 1400 degrees. Can you imagine? Wow! Refilling liquid cast iron. That's it. Open it up. It's a sample that goes to the lab. You know, it's a real thrill to take a spoonful of cast iron. As in a real kitchen, when we cook borscht, we take a sample. Is there enough salt, pepper, tomato? And so here, they take a sample of cast iron to check its chemical composition. Extreme work, and just look at the hazards. You trip, you fall. Does that happen around here? Unfortunately, it happens. I don't even want to talk about it. Now I understand why we were so warned before starting work. They said there's danger at every turn. Of course, your job is not easy, really heroic. You just have to get more involved. I don't need to be told twice. I'll get more involved. What's going on here? We load cast iron into cast iron trucks. You see, from the central spout, the cast iron goes into the tub, and through two spouts, it is poured. Such a barrel, it holds 80 tons of cast iron. The sight is breathtaking, just a river of cast iron. 1400 degrees, 1470 even. Interestingly, 90% of all cast iron in this liquid form, in huge ladles, is sent by train to a neighboring shop. What's going on there now? This is one of the most dangerous operations. We can see that the furnace is almost empty. The cannon has gone to close the outlet. Outlet is the very process of iron flowing out through a hole in the furnace. Now this hole is just sealed with a special device, cannon. Cannon is such a huge syringe that covers the hole in the furnace with clay. We'll take a closer look now. Here's the process going on, and frankly, it's even scary. I'll step back a little bit. When the hole is closed, the cannon is taken aside and loaded with a new batch of clay for next time. It's like a giant syringe. Here's the clay being loaded. Can we see the clay? Thank you. Here's the clay. It's been loaded in here. Keep gloves. The cannon is very hot. Next, the furnace crew must quickly prepare the channels for the next release of cast iron. Such a firework! Nowadays fireworks are banned in Ukraine, but here at Zaporizhstal they are every day as part of the production process. Furnace crew clean the channel walls from falling and restore the shape of the chute. I think the guys can be helped physically. My pleasure. Kolya, will you give him a shovel? Shovel again. My main work tool today. The operation is not difficult but heavy. We take sand, we need to mold to make such a brow. This is how the brow is done so that the shape of the chute doesn't change. It is made of concrete and hot metal adheres to it. Very hot work. If you are tired of office routine, here at Zaporizhstal there are free places. The work is bright, hot, beautiful. The next cycle will be, again, that would be 1630. And we'll open. A new hole is made and all over again. Yes, all over again. When the job is done, there are a few minutes to question the shop foreman about the start of a full-scale invasion at the plant. How do you remember the 22nd year when everything stopped? How did you feel? Here you are now, even filming is hard. It's noise. There's movement everywhere. And then we stop. You have no idea how it feels when the plant is silent. It is scary. This doesn't happen in a factory. It was tense, stupefying. There was anxiety for the future of the plant. What are the furnaceman traditions, superstitions, prohibitions? Here work brave people. They do not believe in superstitions. They believe only in their own strength. What is your strength? The strength is that everything here is hard, hot, complicated. It all has to be done together. It's that togetherness that keeps it running. That is, strength is in unity, When a new cast iron release starts, I get a chance to check something out. And now, friends, probably the funniest part of our shoot. I'm holding a cast iron skillet. Take a guess what I'm about to do. Something no one's ever done before. I'm going to make scrambled eggs in a cast iron skillet. On a real hot cast iron. And it's gonna be lunch for our camera crew. Let's go! It's very, very hot. Hotter than the desert. Somebody take this away so there won't be a fire. Already heated up in a couple seconds. Lying down, it got hot. That's how it is, friends. For the first time in world history, scrambled eggs on a cast iron skillet at the blast furnace. Under me, 1470 degrees. On the surface, 200. If it is already so hot, maybe we can make some tea. I'll ask my colleagues to bring water. Let's put the kettle on too. Literally 2 more minutes and there, the eggs are ready. We can set the table. Welcome our crew. Oh, delicious. But we don't recommend eating it. You don't recommend it? There are admixtures of things that don't go well with scrambled eggs. Sandy, graphite, sulfur. We've even prepared plates, forks, but you say you can't. Not recommended, but it smells incredible. Is this the first time scrambled eggs have been cooked here? First time. First time, right? Has Chinese tea ever been brewed here before? Tea, yeah. You can make tea. Really, boiling water. Do you make tea like that here? That's the way it used to be done. We used to make tea right over the chute, but then they gave us electric kettles. Cheers! 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 Friends, why did we conduct this whole experiment in the first place? To show you clearly. This whole workshop, this working space, is like a hot frying pan. You can fry eggs on it, you can boil water on it, and people here work 24/7, a year round to produce metal. And it's really heroic work that deserves respect. Thank you for your work. It's awesome. Thank you. Before we say goodbye, I don't like to wash dishes, and here we have a dirty cast iron. What can we do with it at your place? Your cast iron to our cast iron. We are just a skillet shirt of according to the plan. Show me how it melts. We will try it now. Hook it up. And the handle? Nothing will happen to it. It will burn. Well, friends, another experiment from the world inside out. We take a cast iron skillet and lower it into liquid cast iron. Here's our skillet melting little by little. Literally 10 to 15 seconds and half the pan is gone. Dissolved and flowed away. And let's move on, friends. Zaporizhstal is a very big enterprise, and we still have a lot of work to do here. The next morning, we return to our Zaporozhets. It's cold today, friends. Frosty. And look what happens to the car if you leave it overnight. In a parking lot, say in Kyiv, on Troyeshina, or in Zaporizhzhia, on Pavlo Kishkas. Just kidding. We purposely took off the wheels, all the glass, left just the metal. Because now it's scrap metal, just like this pile is also scrap metal. And all these cars are also scrap metal, which today gets a second life. And we'll show you how. But first, let's see what here, except for our Zaporozhets, lies in this pile of junk. A frying pan? I think it was once a washing machine. Non-stick kettle, branded, expensive, used to be. A shovel, my friends, take it and dig. Just imagine, every month here comes more than 40,000 tons of scrap metal. This is more than 600 wagons and more than 250 trucks. Also, throwing out bulky scrap metal just near the trash, like quietly putting there a washing machine, is illegal and is subject to a fine. After all, if it is not taken to a scrap metal collection point, it will pollute the environment for hundreds of years, and so it will be recycled into new metal. So if you have an old washing machine or an old refrigerator, just Google how to throw them away. Find the number and people will come and pick it up themselves. And about where such scrap metal is taken and what happens to it next will tell Vartan, who has been working here for 12 years. We inspect the quality of the materials to make sure there are no explosives in there. Has there ever been a finding? Sure. The rocket is too big for that, but we often find mines. We call the SES and they dispose of them. We even conduct drills. We throw a dummy mine into the wagon to check their reaction. You drop the dummy and wait for the reaction to mine. If the person didn't notice, we show again moulage, teach. That's how, friends, unfortunately our lives have changed. Previously, household scrap metal was washing machines and kettles, and now you can get a mine. Tell me about the process. Scrap arrives, we unload it, then load it into a press box. Press it into bags and send it by wagons to the open hearth shop. You mean everything is melting down there? Yes, it's simple. We are now in the press area. This is where we process the scrap. We are increasing the density from 0.5 to 180. And in simple words, so that everyone can understand. Taking 50 washing machines and turning them into one small washing machine. So the volume is reduced 50 times, and there's a girl working in the booth above. Can we ask her to let me try it? Sure, let's go. Let's go. Good afternoon. I'm Dmytro.
My name is Alyona.
Very nice, Miss Alyona. Miss Alyona, can you tell me which lever is responsible for what?
It's for moving the hook. Forward
Forward?
and backward.
Yeah, got it. And this?
It's a bridge controls to go right and left.
Right, left? Got it. And what's that?
Hook, pull to close.
Push, you open it up. What weight can this crane lift?
10 tons.
10 tons. I'll try it myself. Let's go. Let's grab it. Yeah?
Yes, you put it down, just a little bit, that's it.
Wow, how interesting. How funky. Didn't hold anything back.
We need to raise the elevation a little bit. No, smoother, by little, just by little. On the first position.
Yeah, got it. We got it, right? Let's take it slow. I'll tell you, friends, what this reminds me of. When I was a kid, there were those toy vending machines. They're still around all over the world. You could flip a coin and win something, some toy, but it's very hard to catch it. Remember, Sanya, we played like that in Japan. I won a toy then. Yeah. It's the same here, only here the big toy is for grown-up boys and girls.
Now let's stop.
And where to? On that pile over there, right?
Yes.
And 1, 2, 3, you can go like this. Oops. Actually, what can be said? The job seems simple, but you need experience, eye and sense. What is the most difficult thing about your job? Please tell me.
I can't answer the question because everything is given easily. I like my profession. I can't imagine myself in another one.
What gives you your strength? Where is your source of energy and strength?
In the family. My husband also works for us, a diesel locomotive driver.
Is this where you met?
Yes.
So Metinvest Zaporizhstal also creates families. Superb. Very cool work. I'm interested. I like it. And the cherry on the cake will be the pride of the Ukrainian automobile industry, the legendary Zaporozhets. It's already a collector's car now. I have one too, friends. I'm letting you in on a secret. I'll show it to you someday. Well, Zaporozhets, get ready. I'm coming to you.
This is going to be tough.
Oh, got it. Shall we close now?
Right.
Like this?
Yes. Stop.
The Zaporozhets have flown, friends! Yes! I've got it! Wow, what a picture! Wow, got it! That's it, we've loaded the Zaporozhets into the press. Now I'll go downstairs and look at it again. Friends, this is a press. I'll step back to a safe distance. Let's see how it goes. Let's go. Zaporozhets falls. The press is working. Poor Zaporozhets. It was so beautiful. Now, friends, you know how the steel spoon appears on your table. Its path is necessarily like this, and inside it could be a piece of a car, a piece of an old battery, anything. Come on, Dmytro, let's see what came out of the Zaporozhets. Here it is, a briquette. How many tons are in it? From 2.5 to 4. There is not only Zaporozhets, there is a lot of other metal. We see yellow, the remnants of paint, a disc from the wheel, and I have a Mercedes badge from the hood as a memento of it. And the horseshoes that were underneath. That's going to the World Inside Out Museum. And we're going to the open heart shop to melt it all down. In the next episode, for the first time, the World Inside Out is traveling to Iraq. Explosive release of steel. Very dangerous, everyone move away. Holy crap! A job that does not forgive mistakes. One wrong move and you'll be melted in a second. In a split second. The real tests of strength. Enough, enough, enough! New life of the old Zaporozhets. He's saving the lives of guys on the front line right now. And unexpected twists and turns. What's that explosion? Please move to cover. Don't miss. Something's fried. The world inside out with Dmytro Komarov, Ukraine.